Welcome to another fresh episode of Soccer Stories. The FIFA World Cup returned to Italy after more than 5 decades when the country won the right to host the event in 1984 at the FIFA executive meeting held in Zurich. Italy easily outbid Soviet Union and became the second country to host 2 World Cups. West Germany won their third title, beating Argentina 1-0 in the final. It was the last time West Germany took part as a nation, as the Berlin Wall was brought down to unify it with East Germany a few months after the FIFA World Cup. Soviet Union, Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia also played their last World Cup as a single nation in Italy. Truth be told, the Italia 90, when compared with the high-voltage 1986 edition, was a boring tournament, and an average of 2.2 goals per match was the lowest ever in the history of the championships. The defensive and time-wasting tactics had alarm bells ringing even in the higher echelons of the game, resulting in FIFA changing the back pass rule and deciding to award more points for a win in the subsequent World Cups, which, as we know now, has proved to be a breather. Argentina, the losing finalist, managed to play in the summit clash, scoring just 5 goals in the entire tournament, even as the majority of the knockout matches went into penalty shootout. Costa Rica, Ireland, UAE made their World Cup debuts in 1990. Though traditional powers West Germany, Argentina, Italy and England played in the semi-finals, the Italia World Cup was a big leap for Africa. Cameroon became the first African nation to enter the quarter-final, which forced FIFA to allot an extra slot for Africa in the World Cup. Roger Milla, the 38-year-old who came out of retirement, became the most famous African footballer overnight. England ended Cameroon's fairy tale run in the quarter-finals, but not before the indomitable Lions became the toast of the entire football world. Cameroon's dream run started when it stunned defending champion Argentina 1-0 in the opening match of the World Cup. The Argentinian goalkeeper Neri Pompidou letting in a downward header from Oman Biek in the 67th minute. The majority of the Cameroonian players piled their trade in League One, and under Russian coach Valery Nepomniachtchi, they performed as a well-knit unit. They frustrated their opponents with a tight defensive play and relied on lightning counter-attacks. The strategy worked well for them as they beat Argentina and Romania, and despite the 0-4 loss to Russia, qualified for the second round as winners of Group B. They beat Colombia in the pre-quarter finals and led England briefly in the quarter-finals before losing in a well-contested match. Italia 90 threw up a few other surprises as well. Debutant Ireland and ranked outsiders progressed to the quarter-finals, while fellow debutant Costa Rica entered the second round after finishing behind Brazil in Group C. The pre-tournament favourite and European runner-up Russia was knocked out in the first round. However, the biggest disappointment was Netherlands, the European champions, who came to the tournament as the favourites. The Dutch had almost the same team that won the European Championship 2 years ago in West Germany. The Dutch trio of Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit and Frank Rijkaard were at their peak and had a very successful stint with AC Milan in the Italian league. However, the Dutch misfired in the league round and scrapped through to the second round as one of the best third-place teams. The Dutch and Irish had the same points and goal difference and had drawn their league match. The draw of lots saw Ireland take the second spot in the league and condemned the Dutch to meet informed West Germans in the pre-quarter finals. Jürgen Klinsmann and Andreas Brehme scored in a bitter contest that Germany dominated and won 2-1. Rudi Völler and Frank Rijkaard were engaged in a verbal spat, and the latter spit at Völler before the duel ended up with both players being shown the red card. After seeing off the Dutch, Germans firmly established themselves as the favourites. The Germans played with refreshing freedom and aggression and were consistent. After knocking out a defensive Ireland 1-0, Germans entered the semi-finals where England stretched them and pushed the match into the penalties. Bodo Illner, the German keeper, made a fortuitous save of Stuart Pearce, while Chris Waddle blasted his kick soaring over the bar as Germany entered their third consecutive final. The host Italy, egged on by partisan crowd, played aggressively and won all their group matches. The team purred like a new Ferrari and found an unlikely hero in Salvatore Toto Schillaci. The divine ponytail Roberto Baggio struck a magnificent solo goal against the Czechs to announce his arrival at the big stage. The Italian defense, led by Franco Baresi and Paolo Maldini, was watertight, and Walter Zenga under the bar kept a clean slate till the semi-finals where the hosts met Argentina. Argentina, after they lost to Cameroon, bounced back with a 2-0 win over Russia. Argentina's first-choice goalkeeper, Neri Pampido, broke his leg in the match and was replaced by Sergi Goycochea, who went on to play a significant role in Argentina's entry into the final. By his great standards, the great Diego Maradona had a poor World Cup. Often policed by 3 or 4 defenders and carrying an injury, Maradona wasn't at his best. Yet, he produced a moment of magic in the pre-quarter final against Brazil, which had qualified, winning all their group matches. Brazil was expected to roll over the South American counterparts, who qualified as one of the third best placed teams. The match, as it were, was one-sided, with Brazil enjoying possession and creating numerous chances, but Argentina managed to hang in until Maradona weaved his glorious feet around to decide the contest. The little magician, after a fine run, squeezed the ball past 3 Brazilian defenders and set Claudio Caniggia free to score the decisive goal in the 81st minute, which knocked Brazil out of the tournament. In a cagey quarter-final against Yugoslavia, which went to penalties, Goycochea made 2 fine saves as Argentina won 3-2 to enter the semi-finals. The semi-final was played in Naples, the home ground of Diego Maradona, where he is part of the folklore even today. And Italians weren't comfortable moving away from their Rome fortress. In a highly charged atmosphere, Italians called the shots from the start. In the 18th minute, Schillaci crashed in a rebound in after Goycochea blocked a shot from Italian striker. However, Argentina managed to slow down the pace and had more control of the midfield. Claudio Caniggia's backheader brought Argentina the equalizer, and the match went into penalties. Goycochea again turned out to be Argentina's messiah this time. His saves took the South Americans to a 4-3 win and to their second straight final. However, it was a Pyrrhic victory for Argentina. They lost their best striker, Caniggia, who received his second booking in the semi-final, and reliable defender Ricardo Giusti, who too drew a red card. Losing 3 key players to injury and suspension weakened Argentina when they took on West Germany in the final. The final was rather a lopsided affair, with the German forwards bombarding the rival half but still couldn't make any goal-scoring chances. The Argentina's ploy was to soak the pressure and push the match into the penalties, as they did twice in the tournament. Argentina offered little attacking threat, and in the 65th minute, they were a man down when Pedro Monzon, who became the first player to be sent off in a World Cup final, fouled Klinsmann. Mexican referee Edgardo Codesal awarded a penalty in the 85th minute when Rudy Voller was fouled by Roberto Sensini, leading to Argentinian protests. Andreas Brem converted from the dreaded spot to settle the issue beyond doubt. Argentina was further reduced to 9 men when Gustavo De Zotti was red-carded for fouling Jürgen Kohler during stoppage time, before Germany sealed its 3rd title, also becoming in the process the 3rd country to win the World Cup thrice, following the footsteps of Brazil and Italy. That's all for today's episode of Soccer Stories. Let's meet again. Until then, hasta la vista.